Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist, that's a CBT therapist, and a licensed mental health counselor. Today I'd like to go back to the case of the Idaho 4. May the 4 victims rest in peace. Condolence to their families, and may the correct justice be served. I'm wishing everyone a happy New Year. It's just been 5 days, 6 days after New Year. I hope this becomes a blessed year. And I hope we get the correct justice for these 4 victims. They deserve it. This case has been dragging for a long time. Everyone deserves the correct justice in this case. Now, this is for educational purpose only. And to start with, this is for fair use purpose. Today, I'd like to dig in a bit into the Sigma Chi boys. I heard they're called Sigma Chi and not Sigma Chi or Sigma Chi. Let's go to the fraternity and let's dig in deeper of the timeline of E and Xana. This clip is from Plunder. She's a YouTube creator with many subscribers. She does wonders. Her work is always on point. Her research is good. And I remember this clip that I'm going to play to y'all. I'm sure most of y'all have seen it. It's the one with Dr. Phil about the Idaho quadruples. Pay attention to what is said, but I would really like to apologize from the beginning because this picture in this clip, I think Plunder recorded it directly from the TV, so it's like it's a shaky picture. But please do your active listenings more, like listen to what has been said, because this is really important. This is about Xana and Ethan. This is about the last day of their life, the 12th to the 13th, their last whereabouts. Because I've always said, if you get the correct timelines of the couple, the case will go much further. Like I said, I've always believed personally that this is 2 separate incidents, and at least 3 or 4 of the victims were targets. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the targets was on the 3rd floor and one on the 2nd. But whoever did this came for the 4 students. And I always believe in the 4chan theory, although it's anonymous. For all my new subscribers who do not know about the 4chan theory, I'll talk about it soon. But today I want to talk about the Sigma Chi fraternity boys. Pay attention to what is said here.
Cyber sleuths have flooded social media with theories about the case. Now, joining us virtually is independent true crime aficionado Lisa Marie. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor. Thank you.
You said that you spoke to someone who was at the party with Xana and Ethan. What did you discover in talking with them?
So this person wanted to remain anonymous, but they were at the party with Xana and Ethan that night, and what they told me is that Ethan had words with a person who is in the frat, and that it got heated, and that at some point Xana kind of pulled him away, and of course we have the gap and the missing timeline, so where did they go after that, of course, but yeah, apparently he did have words with somebody. This is what we're hearing. This is rumors at this point. But he did say there were heated words, a heated exchange between him and another guy.
Let's talk. So this was Dr. Phil's clip. And this is from Plunder, actually. I find this clip to be really important because this is where we found out that there was a fight at the Sigma fraternity party that night. So E exchanged words with someone, and I believe that it's one of the Davids, David B allegedly, or David Lodge. Now you heard clearly what the woman said, that there's a missing gap in the timeline of the couple. Where did they go? Were they taken as hostage? Were they kidnapped? Were they tied up? Were they silenced? Or were they deleted? The fight in the Sigma Chi fraternity turned really bad at the party. It wasn't only words exchange. Allegedly it broke out to be a fight. And I believe that is the reason Brian Christopher Koberger says that Bethany Funk is going to exonerate him. She knows something, we don't. But we know for a fact that Bethany Funk was at the Sigma Chi fraternity party, or Sigma Chi. What happened that night? Was all this pre-planned? I personally do not believe that the outsiders involved in this case. I believe personally that these are the students, fraternities, sororities. Something must have gone wrong. Rugs could have possibly been involved, since the Uber driver told the local news that that was the place he used to drive many customers to get rugs. Now we know that Brian Christopher Koberger is he's recovered, hopefully, from his heroin addiction. We don't know anything about Brian. We don't know if he had a relapse, if he relapsed back into heroin, or maybe cocaine, or maybe something else. What was being sold in Idaho, Moscow, 1122 Kings Road, still remains to be seen. It was a party house, party venue. I think the reason they demolished it is they know exactly what happened had to do with the students themselves. Now these posts I'm going to read to y'all was on Plunder's YouTube channel. It's for fair use purpose. It's just my mental health and crime channel. It's a reaction channel. So I wanted to react a bit about the content of this. And that is about David Beracha. Pay attention to this conversation in the beginning. Is that what y'all did to the Moscow unalivings? Then he replied, please don't make comments about something that's obviously you ain't informed about. And then he says, people are going around saying they're pretty confident that you are involved. Now this is somebody talking to David B. So this is what David B. replied. I have routinely seen you falsely accusing those in our brotherhood. It is one thing to be wrong, but it is entirely different thing to be peddling a false narrative with poorly vetted sources. Generated engagement for your profile. Leave us alone, please. So this is David B. and somebody arguing about the unalivings. Then it continues. David B. says, our fraternity turned over everything we know, which is just about as much as everyone else. And no, we ain't making statements about it because we are trying to be respectful. But being accused of this broke me. And so I'm making this statement about myself specifically. So this is David B. talking. Tell me why you guys originally lied and said Ethan and Xana had only been at the frat party for 2 hours, and then realized you guys got caught lying and then tied it up a PR nightmare, reverse cause, and said, oh yeah, we were actually there all night. Really odd dude. Wow. So that means the couple were only there for 2 hours, allegedly. And the Davids and the fraternity was lying to the police, saying that the couple were there all night. Let me read it once again. Tell me why you guys originally lied and said E and Xana had only been at the frat party for 2 hours, and then realize you guys got caught lying and tied up in a PR nightmare. So reverse, of course, and said, oh yeah, we were actually there all night. Really? Oh, dude. So, wow. This is major. So E and Xana weren't there all night. Sorry, guys. It's a very shaky picture because that's just the way it is. But point being, David B and the frats were lying and saying, allegedly, that E and Xana were there all night when they were only there for 2 hours. Wow.
Our fraternity has turned over everything we know, which is just about as much as everyone else. And no, we aren't making statements about it because we are trying to be respectful, but being accused of this broke me, and so I'm making this statement about myself specifically. He also replied to another person, 95% of what this idiot just said is wrong. A person asked him, well, what 5% is true? The Sigma Chi bro wrote, what part of this not being true do you not understand? And he also would declare, I'm not even Mexican. He wrote this because his last name appears as if it were a Spanish name. And you will see in the upcoming 4chan narrative that the writer of those explosive threads calls one of the alleged Sigma Chi perpetrators a racial slur often used for Hispanics. And before we get more into what these Sigma Chi frat bros were accused of in that horrible 4chan thread, let's go over a bit more of the specific Sigma Chi bro defending himself. When someone on Twitter posted a photo of him allegedly sitting on the couch smoking right outside the 1122 King Road house, he replied, that's not even where that couch is. Someone else asked him, was it always outside? I never noticed it before. He wrote, these are 2 different couches. Late into the night, Tuesday, December 12th, he is responding. Someone asked, how many beat up black leather couches sitting outside do you guys have in Moscow? Goodness. He wrote, honestly, a lot. He told someone else, you need to take your meds. See, if you even knew either of us, you'd know the whole steroid thing is a lie. So we're going to cover that rumor about this being some kind of steroid rageful event. He called someone else on Twitter definitely a troll. He also wrote, the tweets on my page have an entirely different connotation now that I'm being accused of murder. They are all really dumb jokes, nothing more. He also told the person who's a troll, when they arrest the person that did this, I'm going to come back to this thread just to reply to you and ask for an apology. Someone told him, if you aren't making statements, you aren't providing law enforcement what you know. The internet's going to crucify you whether you think it's right or not. The best thing you can do is give a statement to law enforcement and clear your name. He wrote, I don't need to clear my name. There's nothing to clear. The court of public opinion isn't one I need to please. My family at home and in Moscow know I am innocent. People keep comparing his eyes to a person in a ski mask. Not everyone is hounding these 2 guys who happen to have the same first name, who have become characters, antagonists in this 4chan mystery. The guy wrote, I'm not even in this photo. Another person said, this is how false info gets spread about innocent people. Watching it live, crazy. He replied, thank you. Another person wrote, I feel so awful for you. I can't imagine what you must be going through right now. I hope you find a way to get the negativity out.
I really apologize. That is just how the clip is. So I'll go back to reading it for you. I feel so awful for you. I can't imagine what you must be going through right now. I hope you find a way to keep the negativity out. Thanks, he said. That's David B. Was it David Lodge? Thanks, I appreciate it. These people really don't faze me. They know nothing about me, or the community, or the victims. Everyone actually in the Vandal community knows I'm innocent. I don't need Twitter to be on my side. Okay, understandable. Oh, I know, but I hope it helps me knowing that there are people out in the world that believe in innocence over rumors, even if it gives you some positive vibes and a good feeling in a difficult time. If they're innocent, then I really can understand them, and I feel bad. But the thing is, no one in this case is innocent or guilty until this trial starts. But the question of the couple's timeline is really important. They were at the Sigma Chi fraternity party. So I guess it was the Davids who changed their timelines and said that E and Xana were at the party the whole time. Isn't there cameras? Wasn't there enough witness? I'm sure there was over 100 people in the party. Or is it the Davids that run the show? Are they bullying everyone in Idaho, Moscow? Allegedly, I'm just asking. Then somebody from the Sigma Chi fraternity, oh my God, look at what they wrote above. His name is P. Pig. This is 4:31 on November 14th. So this was the night after the murders. God gives his most effed up, terrible men to his most beautiful women. Ouch. Are they saying that about Ethan? What are they trying to say? God gives his most effed up, terrible men to his most beautiful women. Was this about Xana? Or are they talking about Jagdi or Ethan? Or Jake, Maddie's boyfriend? But I think they really talk about Ethan. God gives his most effed up, terrible men to his most beautiful women. Tweet the day after the unalivings. Ouch. I wonder if the FBI investigated all these tweets, all these social media comments, chats. This looks like somebody who's really involved. So now we're still dealing with David B. All of this 4chan thread that no one can validate. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I did ask hope one of these kids that everyone's accusing takes someone to court for defamation and slander. Last week it was the roommates and Jack, and this week 2 guys named in the 4chan thread. Okay, so someone is writing this to David B. The thing that they don't understand is the 4chan, the anonymous 4chan, came from someone in the Sigma Chi. It did not come from us. We were just analyzing what you all put out in Twitter. So if you're going to take anyone to court for slander and defamation, then you better take Mr. Anonymous who put this out. Last week, it was the roommates. No, it wasn't only last week. It's up to now. We still want to know what the roommates are up to. And Jack. Yeah, Jack was the last one to be ruled out. He needs to explain himself and the black truck. And this week, 2 guys named in the 4chan thread. It's because the Davids became popular on 4chan. So I think this was an inside beef going on in Sigma Chi, and somebody wanted them to be busted. So they took out their anger and accused them of the unalivings on 4chan. The person who replied to the Davids gave them almost the same reply I just said. It's not defamation if it's the truth. People have these 2 Davids on the run with their tails tucked in between. Couldn't be happier. You see? So guys, there was something actually going on with the Davids and the 4chan. There has to be, in my opinion, some truth in it. And it sounds like this person who wrote, it's not a defamation if it's the truth. Sounds like somebody who knows them. Couldn't be happier, the person wrote. I'm literally responding to you from the comfort of my bedroom. I'm not on the run. Well, wasn't it David Lodge's room window that he could directly see 1122 Kings Road? So he's lying on his bed and he has a view on 1122 Kings Road, I guess, allegedly. I don't see any empathy from the Davids. The person replied to David, I think you should watch out for the bros in your frat. Whether you did it or not, someone knows way too much about you and DL. I'm posting it online. DL is David Lodge. So somebody's telling David B, you better watch out for your bros in the frat because somebody's talking. Somebody's snitching on you. And then he says, someone has been harassing us because you true crime fanatics will not let it go. Who it is saying these things, but I do not know what's happening. So he's trying to say the YouTube creators, social media fanatics are just blaming the Davids. No Davids. This came out from Mr. Anonymous. Students in your college were talking, mentioning your names, and the 4chan brought it out. So it's not us. And David L., I was paying attention to you at the grub truck, nodding your head, giving signals to Mr. John Jack Showalter. So all this can't be a coincidence. The 4chan clearly said they had 3 targets. They had motives. We saw 4 figures running. David B is not giving up. He's shooting with the answers. Why is it happening? The guy asks him. And then David B says, probably because everyone is hungry for answers and it's led to the Twitter, TikTok, true crime hive mind to latch on to anything possibly they can. No fight between them, but of y'all, you do not like Eaton. I don't know what he means by that. Eaton was our brother. You don't know us or our community. Stop replying to me as if you know these relationships better than us. It's strange he's been arguing and discussing with him, debating with him, and then all of a sudden he realizes that he doesn't even know the person he's discussing with. But David B was talking a lot in the beginning. And why did the Sigma Chi fraternity turn off the Facebook? They deleted everything from 2018 up to the moment the unalivings happened. You could only see everything in the page from beneath 2018. Nothing above 2018. These people pre-planned it well. That is the reason I'm one of the YouTube creators. My channel knows me. That is really not only focused so much on this case, but I'm focused on the frats, sororities. I've said it from the beginning. People at the grub truck, people at the Banfield alcohol stop, because people can say that, oh, these are just young kids having a good time and just got stopped by the cops. I don't believe in that, because once a police officer tells you to stop, you stop. S-T-O-P. Period. When you walk away and the policeman runs after you and puts on his torch, he should have checked your pockets. He should have gone back to the field and checked. There's a reason these young people do not stop, and psychologically it would have told me there's something not right there. What are they hiding? As a parent, we know teenagers, we know college students. We know everyone how they react when the police stops them. But you usually stop when a police tells you to stop, unless you're up to something. Those boys had their hands crossed the whole time, and they're frat boys too. They were looking at the black coat of Maddie. They were kept on looking at the side, towards the bushes. Something happened at the frat party, at the Sigma Chi, especially with the couple. And something happened to them between 2:15 to 2:30. Because the last text we heard, Ethan's friend got a text from E saying that he was at the Sigma Chi fraternity. And that was between 2:10 to 2:15. The boy got the text at 2:10, so he couldn't have been home before 2:15. Maddie and Kaylee got home at 1:56. Why wasn't the timeline changed? Where was the couple? Were they attacked on their way home, or were they attacked inside the party? Why did David B. lie and say allegedly that they were there, the couple were at the party, they were there only for 2 hours? They were actually there only for 2 hours, but he said that no, Xana and Ethan were there the whole night, which was a lie. Then we hear about this, that Xana ordered food, the DoorDash, Xana was on our TikTok. Doesn't make sense. Make it make sense, David. I would have loved to have an interview with you. Nothing makes sense with the frat boys, especially the Sigma Chi boys. The 2 Davids, we saw one David at the grub truck looking at Maddie and Kaylee. When Maddie saw him right in front of her face, she looked like she saw a ghost. You'll need to see it properly. What's going on in the grub truck is not normal. The poor girls were under surveillance without them knowing. And David B. continues by saying, there was no fight. No David stay at my place. We both live in the fraternity house, but reside in different apartments. And no, there was nothing to witness. So he's trying to say there was no fight, and the other David L, did not stay in his place. He said that we all have separate rooms. We all live in the frats. I can understand that. But I think somebody was trying to imply by saying you and David are dating. So we're sleeping at the same place. We're staying at the same place, allegedly. Because if you all remember, guys, these were the rumors that were going on in the beginning. That the fight was about Ethan calling David L a steroid head, and something about the 2 Davids. You can understand. Dating or some crap like that. And this was in the party, so you can imagine if that really happened. These are college students on alcohol, probably drugs, and especially when you're trying to build an image, taking steroids, pumping your muscles, and then somebody pulls out all your secrets in a party, things can get bad. You cannot calculate how a person is going to react and what the consequences will be. And anything could have gone wrong. But I've always said that the 2 Davids and the 2 Jacks need to be investigated properly. The reason I'm saying the 2 Davids, because something happened to the couple at the Sigma Chi fraternity. Rumors are saying it. The timelines of the couple is wrong. The couple were actually there. Now, reading these texts, we find out, because this was what was happening in the beginning, the first couple of days. The person who's talking to David and texting him said that Xana and Ethan were only at the party for 2 hours. Why did you all tell the police that they were there all night? So that's a nugget I got out of that. So I'm sure it was these Sigma Chi fraternity boys who were running the narrative and feeding it to the police, and they believed them. That's what I believe. The 4chan is so on point. It explains timelines, who was involved. Somebody was going to do the wet job. Somebody was going to stand outside and look after, give them, basically somebody was going to be on the watch out. One person was going to do all this, or 2 people. I know 4chan is enormous, but that doesn't mean it's a lie. A lot of things fit in here. And this fight was brewing between the Davids, Xana and Ethan, for a very long time. Apparently from autumn the year before that. So for a year they were beefing. And if it's true about the steroids, you can imagine the side effects, the symptoms. When somebody's on it, the rage, anything is possible. I'm not saying something happened because of this incident, but now that we've always been hearing a fight, that can lead to anything. That is a motive, clear enough. So this is the Sigma Chi boys, although it's blurry. The one with the blue shirt is David Lodge. The one he has his hand around, I think, is David David B. Yes, it's both of them. What a coincidence. So the one in blue, with the blue shirt and tie, is David Lodge, and he has his hand on David B. I wonder if this picture was taken when E was alive. Is that E behind? This was an article at the very beginning. It was exclusive. I believe it was from Fox News. The father of slain University of Idaho student Kaylee Goncalves told Fox News Digital that the victims had big open gouges, that they were clearly the work of a sadistic male, and called police cowards for not sharing more with the public. Strange. Stephen said he asked the coroner, Kathy Mebbett, how many times the victims were stabbed. She said, "Sir, I don't think stab is the right word. It was like tears. Like this was a strong weapon, not like a stab," he told Fox News Digital. She said these were big open gouges. She said it was quick. This wasn't something where you were going to be able to call 911. They were going to slowly bleed out. What a horrible way to die. This is someone who's or suspects. Not only a suspect, I believe these are suspects, people who are really, not only cowards, who have no respect for human life, who have no empathy. This is more than one person's job, I believe. Goncalves said his daughter's injuries definitely did not match Morgan's wounds. They may have individually died from the exact same thing, being stabbed, but there are more details, he added. They're not even close to matching, so the wounds are totally different from each other. The knife slashed open Kaylee Goncalves' liver and lungs. He said, "Sorry guys, trigger warning." So was Kaylee the main target, or was it Maddie? Or was Kaylee in the way trying to defend herself? And he doesn't know if it's his daughter or Maddie Morgan who were the target. So this was the leather couch that was in question. The guy in the comment was asking David B. and David Lodge if David Lodge was sitting on the victim's couch on 1122 Kings Road, the couch that is in the backyard. It does look exactly like the same couch, and it is the same couch. But he tried to pass it away. So if this is true, imagine somebody sitting on your couch while you're sleeping, because apparently that was the rumor in the beginning from the college, that this picture was taken while everyone is sleeping inside 1122 Kings Road. Look at him sitting and smoking. Was he planning it then? Allegedly? Now, these Venmos were being sent the same night around the timings of the unalivings. Pay attention to Saeed Sheikh. He sent a Venmo to David Baracha. Then Saeed sent a Venmo to Jackson Gustavel, and he is one of the Sigma Chi fraternity boys. Then he sent another Venmo to David Baracha, and there's one underneath that is half that I can't read. Saeed was at the band field, let's not forget. Saeed was very busy that night. Brian Christopher Koberger does have bushy eyebrows, but Saeed has bushy eyebrows too. If you're talking about appearance, and this is not discrimination, this is what the witness DM herself said. Why were they sending each other these Venmos? Around 3:30, quite strange. This is all after 3 a.m. And let's not forget, in the beginning we were told that the unalivings happening between 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. So I guess Saeed sent the Venmos after the crimes were done. I'll explain to you why. 3:17 is when this alcohol stop is completely over. 3:16 is when the figures were running. So if the alcohol traffic was over by 3:16-17, Saeed would have already gone home or gone to whichever frat he was going to. When the figures ran home, and if they were involved, I'm sure they sent a message around, and that's how the Venmos started flowing in. Let's not forget Saeed was watching crime scene pictures, which I always believe and I always show you. He was watching Kaylee sitting on the bed. And these are things I discovered way before the Congalvis showed us that Kaylee was found in the sitting position. So what was going on here? I personally believe Saeed, the Davids, know a lot. Especially what happened to the couple. Trigger warning, this is the picture I'm talking about. What is Saeed watching? And I found, in fact, many more pictures of these. The more you zoom into these pictures, they don't look normal. See, I'll zoom into them. What are we looking at? So this has to be the suspect who did this. One of the suspects. Look at the eyes. They have a white mask on. Is it a white hoodie?